Hello everyone and welcome to Monday's PAX East wrap-up show.
Yeah.
Yes, this is going to be the conclusion of the information that we've received from PAX East.
I'm sad.
You're sad?
Yeah, we didn't get any awesome trailer or something.
Yeah, I was like almost positive they would release some kind of trailer. But, no.
You have to linger on through this thing we call life.
Yeah, I know,
without
right?
a new trailer.
But yeah, so a lot of the information that came out like on Sunday was nothing really new. It seemed most of the information we've got recently was from the previous press event that came out like, what, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, that's where all the goodies came from.
Yeah, so like this past PAX East was pretty much just, this is our impression of the 2-hour gameplay we got to do. The bastards. So, yeah, that's pretty much what most of the information was. There was still, a few nuggets of information here and there, though, that we hadn't known, so that was good. So, I guess we'll just hop right into that. The first peoples we got some information on, actually the most information, really, was from Tamriel Foundry.
Well, it's because those guys are great.
Yeah. So, I guess if you keep up with our channel at all, we did an interview with the Andrew, or Atropos, I believe.
Atropos.
Atropos. Sorry.
Atropos. Don't get it wrong there.
There's no accent marks in English, okay? So, yeah, we are, friends with them, and they like us too, so, we're bonding. We're friends.
At least a community.
Yeah.
At the very least.
But anyways, yeah, go check out their site, tamrielfoundry.com. So, they did split it up into 2 different posts. So for PAX Day 1, they were saying that AVA skill lines will sport 3 separate skill lines to progress in. So not only will we have skill lines having to do with PvP stuff, like, Alliance versus Alliance stuff, there'll actually be 3 separate skill lines that you can work on.
Wait, I don't understand.
I have no clue, like, how maybe you can only build on this while you're in PvP in Cyrodiil.
How many skill lines are in this game?
That's why I made that one post. I'm like, how many skill lines or how many skill trees does it take to make a forest? Or until it's a forest, because this is a freaking forest of skill trees.
Talk, if anyone was worried about customization, because, wait, let's go ahead and then spell it out. We have the inherent skill lines that everyone gets, two-hander.
Yeah, we have the 6 weapon ones, like the 2-hander, 1-hander, the shield and sword, dual wielding, like, all those.
All the ones you used to from your test games.
The 3 different armor ones.
The armor ones. The class inherent ones.
Class, which there's 3 of those for each class.
3 of those.
There's a race specific one.
Race.
There's ones for all the factions, like Dark Brotherhood and Fighters Club, all those things.
Fighters Club. Fight Club. The Fighters Guild. Yeah.
Fighters Guild. Yeah, all of those have their own
Vampire.
skill. Yes, Vampire, Lycanthropy.
Lycanthropy, which I have the hardest time with that word.
Sometimes can't say it either.
Lycanthropy.
And then
it's a werewolf.
Yeah. And there's plenty other ones you can come across throughout the world, and now we're hearing that there's 3 different AVA specific ones. So it's like, what the hell? There's so much stuff to work on. Now we really see why there has to be just a tons of endgame and stuff, because getting to 50 nowhere near is going to be enough time.
Yeah, a couple months ago when they said that, 50's only the beginning, I was like, meh, yeah, okay, 50's only the beginning. But now it's like, holy shit, it's like a third of the game, it seems like. Not even
a third. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so we're gonna have that. Also, a thing that was pretty cool, there's gonna be tons of UI options, including, and I was interested about this because I know a lot of people like this and hate this, but scrolling combat text.
Yes.
Like the floating numbers, the damage numbers, heal numbers, if you knock them down or whatever, any CCs you put on them, those can show up if you select that option.
By default, it's disabled.
By default, it's supposed to be off, but you can turn it on.
Okay, I like that very much because
I might actually turn that on because I kind of do like that.
And that's perfectly fine. That is a personal preference thing.
In a rating scenario. In exploring, probably not. I don't really care about numbers.
Yeah, right.
But I would like to just know how I maybe compare versus other people's damage.
Definitely. And it comes down to personal preference, and I'm so glad that they included the option for that, because I think there is definitely a sect of gamers that would rather have it off.
For sure,
the ones
definitely.
Because it kind of reminds you that you're playing a game at sometimes, which is good, when you're raiding or in groups and stuff like that. But when you're alone, it's nice to have it disabled. So that's cool. I'm glad that was confirmed, because in the pre-alpha testers, we weren't sure about
Yeah, we weren't sure at all. Also, you can toggle whether you want to display friendly or enemy nameplates. So you can turn off nameplates completely and not see them. So that's good for those RPers out there that don't want to see that kind of stuff.
Pretty standard.
You probably can't turn off the glow, though, that goes on like quest givers. I think they glow red.
Yellow.
Or no, yellow. Yeah.
Yellow. They glow.
Enemies glow red.
They have a yellow aura about them if they have a quest to give out, and they also show up as a little dot on the mini-map. I'm told.
It probably only glows, though, when you mouse over them. Or not mouse over them, but put your reticle over them, probably.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Quest markers you can turn off. So I'm assuming by quest markers they mean like after you've picked up a quest and it like shows you where to go to do it or find the area that it's at.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they mean by that.
It could mean,
turn those off?
Yeah, it could mean that, or just the quest indication markers on the minimap. I don't know, but
not sure.
Either way, I think there's definitely a sect of gamers, a sect of old school Morrowind gamers, and I actually might do it myself because there's a group of people that like the fact that they can just pick up a quest and are forced to read their journals and figure out where to go rather than just having an arrow pointing them somewhere, And then there's people that hate that. But it's cool that another thing, another good option. We always like options.
I at least like to know the general vicinity of where I need to be going, so I'm not just completely lost and get pissed off. So,
yeah, I don't know. It depends what kind of mood I'm in, I find. Like, I've been recently doing a Fallout 3 playthrough again, and there's certain quests that they give or certain rewards where they won't tell you. They'll tell you where to go in the quest dialogue, but they won't actually point an arrow. And actually stumbling about in the wastes and figuring out where I'm supposed to go as I'm getting chased by rad scorpions, it's a beautiful thing at times, I'll admit. It's a beautiful
especially
thing.
I always get lost. You're playing Fallout 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get lost in the sub-tram or whatever, the subway systems.
Yes,
I always
the
get
subway
lost
systems.
in there. They're like mazes to me.
I do feel like a rat in a maze going through one of those.
Anyways, so another UI option, of course, is to disable tooltips. So just another thing, if you like as minimal of a UI as possible, you can't turn off those tooltips. So that means you can't see what skills do or any of that kind of stuff. Pretty much everything is turned off.
Yeah, that's a good option. Included in a lot of MMOs, Lotro, WoW, I think had a delay like that too. So, good.
Yep.
Good.
This next thing is going to be great for us because we were having problems doing this in Guild Wars 2. Making a machinima video was very hard to do in Guild Wars 2 because there was a very small amount of emotes to mess around with. In ESO, there are going to be tons of them.
Yes.
You can even do push-ups, apparently.
It's universal. Everyone is saying that they got into the game, and there are tons and tons of emotes, tons of just dance emotes too. So
yeah. So there's going to be tons of machinima. What's the word?
Potential.
There, thank you.
Yeah, a lot of machinima potential, which I love. The machinima community in World of Warcraft had one of the best machinima. For those who don't know, machinima is just anything refers to anything you're using in-game footage in, especially when you're bringing characters to life through skits and stuff. So red versus blue is probably one of the most popular ones for Halo. I've always liked that. And then these emotes are an extremely important thing for the role players out there. When you're trying to role play in a tavern or doing your role play, a lot of emotes definitely help. In the roleplay process.
Right.
So they'll be very, very glad to hear that too.
All right. So I guess, Andrew from Tamriel Foundry was at the previous pre-alpha testing, right?
Yes.
And they didn't have the whole dodging and disrupting mechanics yet then. They have them now in the game, so he was able to test those, and he says that those are very fluid. So it works very well. So dodging and disrupting mechanics, that's where you hold down the right click and then you hit left click, and then that'll that can interrupt. Sort of, yeah. It interrupts spell casts and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he said that all works very well. But he also said like dodging takes up a lot of stamina, which is good though. I like that it takes up a lot of stamina.
It's good because it makes you have to use it only when you need it, you know? So that's because I would hate if the game, you know, I like the way Guild Wars did it with the endurance bar, you know, it limited it so we're only limited to I think 2.
About 2, depending on some perks you can put in there.
Yeah, which I like that because you don't want freaking unlimited dodge. That would suck. Now, I did hear that dodge kind of got a little of annoying for some of the testers, some of the people that got in and had the chance to play the game, because dodge apparently is mapped to ASD, and you have to double tap in each direction. Now, that's how Guild Wars was too, right?
It is.
And apparently some people think that, or some people felt that they were running in one direction and maybe switching directions and stuff, and they would accidentally dodge. Do you remember doing that in Guild Wars? Like
only during jumping puzzles.
Jumping puzzles,
but
yes.
What they should probably just do is shorten the amount of time between the taps, so that has to be a quicker tap in order to initiate the dodge, or add a separate key that you can hit while holding a directional key, like Guild Wars 2 has as well. If you're holding down a directional key, and then you hit F, I believe it is, it'll dodge for you.
Okay.
I can't remember what the original map was because I remapped it. But anyways, they have that, or you can double tap to dodge. So I think ESO should probably do that as well, so that if people want to, and you could turn off the double tapping to dodge and just use that hotkey to dodge. So if they added that, that would be good for ESO. But yeah, if not that, then just shorten up the taps, so you have to tap it faster. So that way you're less likely to accidentally dodge when you didn't mean to.
Yeah, I would like it however Guild Wars 2 did it, because I didn't find myself accidentally dodging a lot. Like you said, only during jumping puzzles where I have to be super precise where I'm stepping and stuff like that. But aside from that, not too much accidental dodging. I don't remember it being any sort of problem.
So adventure zones are going to make up a huge amount of the endgame content. Apparently this is something they really want to work on and make sure that people are taking advantage of these zones. And I don't mean like the 50 plus areas. These are specific zones to your alliance. I'm sure there's some in the other 50 plus, but anyways. So there's going to be a lot of large group content as well, which won't consist of just huge massive bosses that you just pick at their ankles. You know, you don't stab them in their ankles 500,000 times and kill this one large thing. They're concentrating on several tougher mobs, so that like there's just tons of things that you have to be worrying about with all of them, because you know they will use synergy and stuff like that. So it will make it tougher overall for a large group to maintain and make sure everyone's doing their job correctly.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a much better experience when it comes to the larger group stuff in the adventure zones.
Well, I see it as very, very cool for raiding, because I don't know about you guys. Like I said, I've raided in my time, but not too much. Never hardcore by any means. I hated trash mobs. Those were just such a
a time waster, yeah.
Waste of time, and it was in almost every MMO I've played has had them. And I think the fact, I would love these adventure zones to be kind of like, okay, you're in a raid group or whatever, and you have to like assault this bandit hideout or something. But all the mobs aren't stupid and trash. Like, they're difficult in the way they go about their formations and stuff like that. Presents a challenge. So each and every encounter you come across in these raid groups, in these adventure zones, are actually challenging, and it's not just some mindless killing here and there with trash. I don't know. That excites me.
Yeah. And hopefully they'll also have some more story-driven stuff as well. We know their dungeons are going to be very story-driven. So that'll be good to look forward to. Oh, and you know how you were saying how, like, you know, previous they had the lower-level dungeons, and then you can do those dungeons again at 50, but they're, like, different? And you were saying how maybe that's the second version, the higher version, would
like the story
carry
would
on.
Continue.
Yeah, it will. It does carry on with the previous story.
Yeah, it was Nick Conkle.
Yes.
He confirmed.
Was it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was him who confirmed the fact that your story does continue, which is so cool. So going back to these places, not only will it be different, but you'll get that factor that you're actually making an impact, and you get to see what happened with it. So that's
definitely
very cool.
Very cool. Again, it's just another push for those single-player oriented people to go out and do group activities with other people and do these things, because they will have a story to do and they'll want to know what will happen, you know. And one last thing for day one, they confirmed that there's going to be AoE looting. I know some of these people are kind of lazy. They just want to click one button and pick up all the loot sets around them. So you will be able to do that through an option in the UI. I personally don't like that because then I just end up getting way too much trash way too soon. And I have to keep going to a vendor to get rid of it all.
I'll admit, I'm one of those lazy people, I guess. 'Cause
You loot everything?
I loot everything, yeah. I don't mind making the trash runs.
Well, you know how I am with my inventory, and I like to make sure it's orderly.
So,
Yeah. All right, so moving on to PAX 2, or PAX Day 2, still with Tamriel Foundry. They were saying there's going to be several mini games. One is fishing. So there will be a lot of little things for players to do when they don't feel like questing or PvP or any of that kind of stuff. If you like just wasting some time or whatever, there's going to be some things like this, fishing.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the mini games in Guild Wars 2, like the keg brawling and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a very neat distraction, and I hope they have things like that in the Elder Scrolls Online. Skyrim, Oblivion. They didn't have really any games that I remember like say The Witcher has. The Witcher, you have these chess games and stuff and board games that are inherent to that universe, and which is weird because then. No, that wasn't Bethesda though. I'm thinking Fallout New Vegas. They have all the poker games and stuff like that. Super cool. Yeah, I would like to have these little games to play with friends and stuff. Just little side distractions, little shinies.
I also hope that they add some kind of reward system to it though, like crafting materials or something that has to do with the activity you're doing though. Like fishing, it gives you obviously fish for provisioner.
Yeah, well how about you're fishing and you catch a boot and you get to salvage the boot to make materials for blacksmith.
I can now make this boot.
Yeah, there you go.
There's going to be no loading screens once you're in Cyrodiil. So once you're in Cyrodiil, you're not going to worry about hitting a little loading screen or anything. I'm sure that's going to mean there's going to be one rather long one, though, when you're first entering Cyrodiil.
Oh, gosh.
Probably
an hour or two, at the least. At the least.
No, I probably wouldn't expect more than 10-15 seconds, but... I mean, Guild Wars 2, how long did it take?
I knew you were going to bring that up.
To get into World v. World or to just Heart of the Mists took forever. I was like, oh god, come on. So I probably won't be that long, but hell, one loading screen, I don't have to worry about it ever again. I'm for that. So yeah. AoE heals, we know they're going to mainly be AoEs and those radial or cone effect heals. But they were also saying that the AoEs are going to be limited by how many people they'll actually heal. So let's just say 5 is a limit. So if you have 10 people around you, you only heal 5 of those people.
Wow, I find that really odd.
It is odd, probably just for balancing reasons. But anyways.
How does it select those people then? Because say in this group you need to heal.
I was going to finish up. But they do have a priority list, and it will be group members first get healed. So if you have all of your group among you, but then you have another group next to you, you'll heal your 4 people, including yourself, and then you'll heal one other person from that other group. I don't know how it picks the next person, maybe who has the lowest health or something. But yeah, first is the people in your group.
Okay, that's good, because if you're running with a group in PvP and you just want to heal your guys as a priority, you definitely need to have that ability. Good.
Yep. There will be armor set bonuses, so if you have all light armor, you'll get more bonuses towards light armor.
And this is a thing that I said I was against a couple episodes ago. Yeah, because I like the whole, because I want to be the type of battle mage character, and I liked in how Oblivion, I was able to wear, plate and then maybe a cloth hand or a cloth hood or something like that. And I was saying the fact that I didn't like how in Skyrim the perk trees rewarded if you were wearing all armor of one type.
Right.
The fact that the Elder Scrolls Online is opening it up, any class can wear any armor. I was hoping that I could mix and match my stuff, So if I want to be that hybrid warrior mage, my armor can reflect that through the armor types I'm wearing.
Well, then they also said, though, through the hybrid armor, you'll still get passive bonuses even with hybrid armor, and that way you can actually tailor it to your build and playstyle by just picking the specific bonuses you want. So say you wanted the muffled movement or something, well then you'll want some leather stuff in there, enough to get that perk or that passive effect, and then you start putting other stuff on that will also give you that. perk that you've been wanting.
So I still can mix it. So
You can still mix and match, and you'll still get passive bonuses. You just won't get as high of the passive bonuses that you could. They call them like capstone passives, like the highest passive you can get if you have a full set of light or medium or heavy.
So it's just a bit of sacrifice to gain this flexibility of a hybrid
and
basis.
To me,
basically.
that only sounds fair. You shouldn't have all the passive bonuses of a pure armor wearer if you're a hybrid wearer.
Because as a hybrid, you gain extra flexibility.
Yeah.
That way you kind of have an advantage yourself. So
Exactly.
okay, I could see definitely if they go about it in the right way, I could see how that could be fair.
Yep.
We'll see though. We'll see.
All right, so that was pretty much it for Tamriel Foundry. So we'll be moving on to Guild Umbra.
Guild Umbra.
This was from
That's how I say it.
this was from the exclusive interview with that Mark from Guild Umbra had with Nick Conkle, who, by the way, he gave us a nice little plug there in his video.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I like that. That was great. That shout out.
They both laughed, actually, by the way. I saw the smirk on Nick Conkle's face, so I know he knows us. I don't know if it was a good one or not, a good smirk or not, but I know he recognized the name.
Those renegades at the ShoddyCast stirring the pot.
Those bastards. But anyway, yeah, I just thought it was funny. Yeah. Anyways, so they were saying that each crafting profession will have a way to enhance even top tier gear. So even the best gear in the game can be made even a little better through crafting by adding those additives we had talked about previously.
Yes.
So, but each profession has its own specific way of improving it. So like weaponsmithing can sharpen something, which I'm not sure what it'll do, but it may add like a bleeding effect or maybe more damage to a weapon.
Every sword needs a whetstone, as Tyrion Lannister would say.
And then they're also saying like the enchanter could add fire damage or something to a weapon. So yeah, each profession is. I don't know what cooking's gonna do.
What does a profession do?
Yeah, I don't know what that's gonna do.
Smears a sweet roll on it and it attracts bears. I don't
I
know.
don't know. Maybe it adds health or some way. I don't know. They sew vegetables into the lining of your coat. I have no clue.
If you get hungry late, that would be really cool. Oh my gosh, that's a business idea.
They can sew pockets in with food. Who knows? So yeah, just some other possibilities I was thinking of is like maybe alchemy can add permanent poison damage to weapons, or maybe the other after thing of like armor maybe could have some kind of resistance to poison through alchemy, something like that. And then what did I say? Cook can add increased stats like health or stamina. I don't know. I don't know how they would do it, but like, what else are you gonna give to a cook to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I can never see cooking though adding any bonuses to armor. It's got to be food. Like when he was mentioning the whole crafting adding bonuses to armor, I don't think he meant every line. Like I don't think
He said every profession has some way of
Every single
enhancing.
one.
Yes. Watch it again, man.
What the hell is a cook gonna do?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And also, Nick was just trying to make sure people realize that dungeons are not just all about like a few rooms full of stupid mobs and then an end boss. That's not what it's all about. The dungeons will be story driven. There'll be like companions in there that will follow you around and stuff and help your group out from time to time. And there will be events that happen, like dynamic events. Within dungeons.
Interesting. So I could go into a dungeon and have a totally different experience.
I don't know if it'll be completely different all the time, but he did say that there would be events.
There'll be
in the dungeon.
something in there mixing it up, hopefully with
yeah.
dynamic events. I would like that. I hope that makes it into the game because I think that's very cool because if the Elder Scrolls series is anything, it's different to every person, you know? Talking to other people who have played Elder Scrolls games is so cool because everybody has a different and unique experience because of all the randomness that goes on. So the more dynamic events you can add to your game in the Elder Scrolls Online, I think the better it's going to turn out for everyone. So yeah, I hope dynamic events make it into dungeons.
Agreed.
That'd be really cool to see.
All right, so that was pretty much it for that interview, since most of the other information was stuff we pretty much already knew. But again, it was just good to see Mark over there. At least he could make it over there and talk to those peoples and play the game. So good for him.
Yeah, it's great. We have a lot of good news and community sources to pull off of. Because what is the ShoddyCast if not an entity that pulls this thing off the internet, chews it all up, regurgitates it into the mouth of their audience.
You're our baby birds, and we're the mother bird, and yeah. Oh, that's gross.
Gross analogy.
That's
I'm sorry I
gross.
even used that one. We'll have to come up with something different.
But anyways, thanks. Excuse me again. Thanks to Mark for giving us that little plug. And again, if you guys are looking for a large guild that is interested in hardcore on PvP and instances and stuff, check them out, guildumbra.com, and see if you can make the cut. But again, they're not for wussies.
Hey, no cream puffs.
Yeah, so so make sure you can take a joke, otherwise you won't enjoy yourself over there. On to Other Scrolls Off the Record. I was actually listening to these guys on Thursday. I wasn't able to listen to their show while they were over there in Boston.
Did they all make it? Did they all make it to PAX?
2 of them, I think, made it there Saturday, and then all 4 of them were there Sunday. Or at least not all 4, but 4 of them were there Sunday.
Okay.
And they were talking about, and they had mentioned this earlier. I wasn't quite sure what they meant by this, but all skills on a skill bar will now level, even if you don't use those skills. So say you have 5 skills on your skill bar. A couple of them are healing skills, which you don't use any of those. You're only using 1 ability on that skill bar. You'll level that much quicker, but you'll also start leveling those other skills just because they're on your bar.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a system that Path of Exile also has. You know, because I didn't like the fact, because I use other skills like very rarely or in certain situations, and I didn't like the fact that they would not level at all.
Right.
Which Path of Exile didn't do. They did what you're describing here in the Elder Scrolls Online, where if it's on your bar, it'll passively level. I think it's interesting that it won't level as fast though, because you're not using it as much. But that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
If you're not using it more, it shouldn't level as fast.
But I just like that they do at least give you that opportunity to level skills that you don't really use that often. They may be just situational things.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's also a good way to start building up your secondary build or whatever while you're using your primary one.
Definitely.
And that was pretty much it for that, as for new information anyways. But there was a few other little tidbits here and there. There was actually a leaked video of the gameplay. Now, we're not going to link that video because, we don't want to get in trouble for any of that.
And NDA is a very real thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But it was still interesting to see, since we weren't able to make it there and see the gameplay for ourselves. But a couple things that I did enjoy seeing was the camera itself didn't bounce around and stuff whenever a twig got in the way. Like, Guild Wars 2 still has trouble with their cameras, and how it bounces around way too much anytime there's like a cliff face or something, or a stupid little tree branch. A little tree branch gets in the way. It starts screwing up your camera.
Yes,
and especially if you're doing jumping puzzles and stuff, it's terrible. But I saw here, trees and branches and everything, just, going by the camera, no problems whatsoever. And actually, let me just say, even in that grainy, crappy cell phone footage that I had saw, the branches even looked good up close. So that was pretty cool to see. They are using some top-of-the-line computers, but it was good to see just that little details and stuff, even in the branches.
Oh yeah, the great thing about having this PAX East thing, where so many gamers got to turn out and test the game, we got to see what they all were saying, and the verdict is, man, this game looks sexy. It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, we hear even up to par or even better than Skyrim. So probably think of your Skyrim with your 4K graphic mods and stuff like that. That's probably what it's going to look like.
Honestly, I think I definitely see where people are saying it looks better than Skyrim. For example, I was chatting on the forums with a couple of guys on the ShoddyCast forums, and they were mentioning the fact that the elves look so much better too. And I didn't even think of that, because we were talking about how the orcs had made an improvement, and the Argonians too. Well, in Skyrim, did you get the feeling these elves, they kind of look like vampires in a way, with their super pointy cheekbones and stuff like that? And I know that's a feature amongst elves and stuff like that.
They were a little overdone.
Yeah, but they a bit too far, to the point to where the girl elves.
Well, just look at the Bosmer. I could not stand wood elves in Skyrim at all. They were so hideous.
Bug-eyed aliens.
It's terrible. I like dark elves look better to me than the Bosmer, and they're pretty ugly too, but I can make a pretty hot looking dark elf chick. Yeah. Let me just say.
And we saw, I think it was a dark elf, and the new gameplay that they released
for ESO.
And, the elves look good.
They do.
I think they look very good.
I think the
better than Skyrim,
Argonians
I would say.
look very good now.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me want to play that Argonian more and more, but I'm gonna have to save it for my alt.
That's what alts are for.
It's gonna be my alt. But another thing that was pretty cool about that leaked footage was you were mentioning this. Whenever you open up a game menu, it switches to your face. Like it zooms the camera around in a cool effect, and then zooms in on your character, so you see your whole body. So it just kind of shows off your character a bit whenever you go into a game menu. So that was pretty cool to see.
And by the way, guys, I wouldn't go searching for that leaked gameplay footage because I think it was taken down.
It's been taken down several times and been mirrored several times.
Really?
It's probably still around, but good luck finding it.
Yeah, because I didn't watch it because it was taken down. Not because I'm a good person or anything, but because it was down.
But anyways, that was pretty much it for the information that we got out of PAX. Wish there was more, but we take them we can get.
Yeah, we have other conventions still to come, and
E3 is a big one.
E3 is a really big one. Exactly. So I'm expecting an awesome looking a cinematic or some new gameplay for that. Actually, I was joking around at the beginning, complaining about not having a cinematic, but I always prefer more gameplay footage over cinematics, because cinematics are just hype machines. That's all those things are. But gameplay is something tangible, something real.
Yeah, and if any companies out there so happen to maybe want to sponsor us to send us to E3 in June, just saying, we'll accept it.
Oh God.
But anyways, you want to talk about the channel and what we're going to be doing?
Oh yeah, so we have some news for you guys.
And some of you are probably gonna hate this, but
Don't freak out. Don't freak out here. It's gonna work out better for you in the end, content wise. So the ShoddyCast, we've always been quality over quantity. At least we like to think we are quality over quantity. And I don't know. I just get, by looking at the statistics and reading some feedback and stuff like that, I feel like the ShoddyTalks have kind of become more on the quantity side than the quality side, and I would much rather have that ShoddyTalks kind of absorbed by the Friday's episode of ESO Weekly, which has a lasting track record as our most popular episode of the week.
For sure.
So we kind of more want to focus on making that Friday episode better, and you're not gonna every week, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've kind of aimed for 2 ShoddyTalks being 15 minutes long each, somewhere around there, and then a Friday's episode, which is around 30 minutes. I know we haven't been sticking to that. It fluctuates like crazy, but that's what we actually aim for. And so we're thinking of kind of making the Friday's episode just a longer episode and having a community segment with the ShoddyTalks. So we're still gonna answer questions and have them. So definitely keep doing that. But yeah, just kind of to streamline the channel in a way, and I think it'll make us more flexible in the end. So we're not going to have a scheduled Monday and Wednesday episode of ShoddyTalks anymore. But that doesn't mean we're not gonna release ESO stuff throughout the week. I actually like the flexibility it'll give us in that if we want to just make a quick video to put out there,
for sure,
that's unscheduled, I want to be able to do that. And I haven't felt like I've been able to do that because of the fact that we have the Monday and Wednesday.
Exactly. Like, for instance, when we had got all that information from that previous press event, it came out on Tuesday. And I was ready right then and there to start putting out a video on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I was ready to record and throw a video that day.
But we couldn't because what we were going to do for Wednesday.
Exactly.
So
you feel this, and when the schedule's there, you feel this obligation, oh well, we'll just save it for that next episode because it's so close anyway. So if anything, it's not really subtracting content away from you, it's just giving us more flexibility.
It's concentrating it into more ESO goodness on Fridays. But also it'll open us up to do other more general gaming stuff, which was what we've been wanting to do for a while now.
Oh yeah.
With like the whole first look and stuff that we had started, or first impressions, what was it called?
First look.
First look, okay.
Yeah. It's a show on our channel. You don't even know the damn name. You son of a bitch. But
yeah, so we just want to do more general gaming stuff as well, be it Let's Plays. I know we've had some people that have been like, when's your next Let's Play gonna be? So we want to do other stuff like that as well.
Yeah, with always Elder Scrolls focus too, because I don't know, I can't speak for you, but Elder Scrolls is it's my favorite series of all time. So the channel is always going to have emphasis on that with Friday's episode, and then of course you always have the lore series going on Saturdays.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
That's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's going to be around for quite a while, I feel. But yeah. There's other great RPGs that I would love to talk about too. For example, I don't know if you guys have been following at all the announcement of The Witcher 3 and stuff, but one of my favorite RPGs series is The Witcher series for its maturity
boobs.
and it's boobs now, but for its hardcore RP elements I love too. And if you guys haven't been keeping up at all, The Witcher 3 promises to be this sort of Witcher Skyrim hybrid in that it's an open world that's supposed to be even bigger than what we saw in Skyrim.
Yeah, no more like linear, you have to go this specific path. It's not that anymore. It's like go out in the world and do shit.
Yes.
With the main storyline.
Oh gosh, I'm excited for it, because as great as the Elder Scrolls series is, there's some other great RPGs and stuff out there. And that's always what we've envisioned the channel to be. This thing where we can, when we're passionate about it, we can talk about it,
Yeah.
And that only comes if we have it open to general gaming stuff too. So anyway, that was the big announcements. So don't freak out. Don't go in any rioting mode, with the pitchforks and the torches and all those things. I think in the end, it's going to make for better content that you watch, So, all right. Did we cover just about everything we wanted to cover?
Yes, sir. Oh, I just wanted to say thanks to our sponsors for chipping in and finally getting us that 1080p monitor for you.
Yes, that was a big deal, guys. When we did that shout out on Friday's episode, I think it was, a bunch of you got out there and donated the last money to push us over. We'll announce the names in Friday's episode for the people who donated. That's when we always announce our sponsors. But thanks to you, the next episode of the Elder Scrolls lore series is going to be in glorious 1080p, which is exciting. So, thanks. All right, so this has been the ShoddyCast. Thanks for watching. Please tune in on Friday for the next episode of ESO Weekly. I have been Josh.
And I've been Kyle.
We'll catch you later.
Boy.